The construction skill has had a massive rework. They've stripped out the entire old housing system on RuneScape and replaced it with a new housing system that lets you place items anywhere on the map. There is a lot of new stuff today, so bear with me as we get through all of it. For nearly 2 decades, player-owned housing has been a part of RuneScape's journey, but it's not aged very well, and it has needed a lot of love for a long time, so it's very cool to see them doing something about it. Over those 20 years, player-owned housing has remained largely unchanged. There has always been a fantasy and a drive to build your house into something cool, but it's just been very limiting. You can make some really cool builds with the old system, as you can see in old school RuneScape, but it had a lot of restrictions in how you could decorate each room, so they've changed it into a very modular system, very reminiscent of The Sims or other building games where you can place things all over. You have different sizes of rooms now, and we'll get into all that details. Here are some previews of what you can make your house in RuneScape look like now, and look how amazing this is. You will start with a completely empty plot of land and you'll place out trees, buildings, decorations. Here we got a shot from further away. This is where they've placed their house. You'll quickly notice that the houses in RuneScape are no longer in a floating void. They're actually on an island now. A quite sizable island too, I will have to say. Here's a picture from inside of one of the rooms. I'm thinking this is probably mahogany furniture. You could get bear rugs now, candles. Here's a larger image of the portal nexus, which looks amazing. Fountain garden, sunflowers. Also got a potion cauldron now, which you can fill with potions, but more on that in a little bit. An achievement room with boss heads that you can hang up on the walls. You can display your capes of achievements. Possibilities are endless, pretty much. This isn't simply an update to existing features, it's a complete reimagination of one of RuneScape's most iconic systems. They've rebuilt the entire housing system from the ground up with more freedom, more creativity, and deeper progression. You start off in Remington, the house portal, as well as the area surrounding it has been completely updated.
New ways to build, customize, and connect. Welcome home, and let's take a look around.
With flexible room layouts, free furniture placement, 5 distinct house styles, and hundreds of decorative items to discover.
Ooh, look at that house!
You have the freedom to create a cozy cottage, a 3-story trophy-filled museum, or something that makes absolutely no sense to anyone except you.
Whoa!
Uniquely RuneScape.
Now that's a
More
church
giving you
right
more
there.
freedom than ever.
Designed
I like
around the way
this.
people
I like this
actually
place.
play RuneScape, your player-owned house can now become a hub for preparing, planning, and setting off on your next expedition.
Create or join a homestead with up to 5 players and bring your homes together in a shared community.
I like it.
Move seamlessly between neighbouring houses, visit your friends whenever you like, and make use of each other's facilities to create something far bigger than any one home could be on its own.
And because visitor numbers aren't restricted, well,
Hey, wait a second. The Christmas Golem is back. I showed him off the other week.
And for the first time,
No, they pulled Mod Doom away from Dragon Wilds for a little bit to be in the promo video. Way!
New rewards to unlock,
Ooh.
meaningful reasons to keep building throughout
Oh, whoa.
the RuneScape adventure. As you progress, you will
That
unlock
looks
new
sick.
furniture,
As an old school player, this is the first update in a long time I've seen that makes me a little bit jealous. This looks incredible. I've always wanted The Sims like building in RuneScape. Hopefully there isn't a PvP related bug after 20 years. Recipes through PVMing sounds epic. They covered a lot of it in the video, but basically here they're saying, who is this update for? Pretty much everyone, really. PVMers can stop by their house when preparing for another boss trip. Clue hunters can get teleport destinations to their house. Collectors can throw all their trophies inside their house. Social players can have their house parties there. People who want to just build a cool place to hang out can do that. There's 650 pieces of furniture added with this update today. Some of them are old, some of them are new. Bosses now drop different things you can display in your house, like boss heads. They've added a new tier of furniture above mahogany as well, called Eternal, from Eternal Logs. Those require over 100 wood cutting to cut, and of course over 100 construction to make. We'll have to check how the leveling progression feels now with the complete change to that, since you don't build and destroy things anymore. And the free-to-play level cap has been increased to 20 construction as well, so free players can actually try out their houses for a little bit as well. Whole range of items here. Here we have a list of all the different shapes of rooms that you can build for your housing spot. You'll see that there's a set number of tiles here. So that means that essentially you can connect rooms wherever there are red spots. So that's where you would want the doors to go. So this room is obviously quite a lot longer than, for example, this room and this room. You've got this massive behemoth of a room here for 500,000 coins. It effectively has 3 doors on each side of it. So you can build rooms on the second floor and it'll add supporting beams below it. You can now remove doorways you don't want and replace them with either walls or a windowed wall. This lets you customize your hallways if you don't want there to be tons of doors in it. Here you can see there's a window over in this wall rather than a door, for example. You can see how easy it is to just make a room. There's no loading screens or anything. You just do everything on the fly and it just loads and updates automatically. And the coolest thing that I've found while I've been messing around with this is that other people can just stand around in your housing area while you build. There is no loading screen for build mode. You just turn it on and then you can build in real time while they're looking at the exact same thing. And it updates for them too. So they can comment on things you're adding or removing. You could effectively build a house together with them. All of you working together to design the area if you want to. In Remington, outside of the house portal, you can go into furniture storage and you'll see all your old stuff in there. Because unfortunately with this update, they have completely destroyed your old house if you did have one. But after a quick introduction and quest, Alfred will help you start up your new house. And then in your furniture storage, you have all of the items that you had in your old house. Well, most of them. Some of them have been removed. And they actually function as items now, so you could just remove them and add them to your inventory, for example. So my demonic throne is an inventory icon now. And plop those into storage, and when they're in the furniture storage, you can start placing them in your house. You have to put them in your furniture storage before you can start putting them in your house though. And everything in the storage is also sorted. You've got furnishings in the first one, chairs, tables, fireplaces, bookcases. You then got functional things. These have uses, for example, the bathysphere for the aquarium, treasure chest, mahogany toy box. The teleportation has its own tab, so this is where your portals would go. Marble portals and house portals, of course. We've got random decor, which doesn't really have a whole lot of use cases, but good for decorating. So you've got rugs, clocks, armor stands, trophies, display cases, wall decor, and then miscellaneous, which is cobwebs. I will say they did remove some of the Slayer wall decor because I saw the heads popped into my bank with the update. So you didn't lose the heads, I guess, but they did remove those from your house at least. Lighting things would be candles and different stuff like that. Posh fountains and different foliage you could put outside. Also fences go in here, so that's kind of that kind of stuff. What's also cool is you can search through the list here. So if you go in here and you want to make a portal nexus, for example, you can do portal, and then you get all the portal things. And here, Grandmaster Portal Nexus is one of the items. It requires 5 magic stone, 5 gold leaf, and 5 marble blocks. There are a couple other ones as well. If you don't have 104 construction, you've got Master Portal Nexus, Raider Portal Nexus, and just a regular Portal Nexus down at 74 construction. You've got the Potion Cauldron, which is a new item as well. Various different altars you can have in your house, like Samarak, Saren, Theradomin, Armadale, can't forget about Armadale. The armor cases and fancy dress boxes are also back. There are different pet houses as well to have your pets in your house. You can get an altar of war in your house to heal up your prayer points and all that. Gilded altar still exists. Summoning obelisk and combat dummy do still exist as well. There aren't just portal nexuses though. You can get the ornate jewelry box as well from old school RuneScape. Gives you infinite teleports to all the jewelry locations. I know there are ways to get that otherwise in RuneScape as well through the Passage of the Abyss item, but now you've got an option through your house as well if you got the level. There's also the Saren Teleport Stone, which is new. That takes you to all the spots that the teleport crystal would take you to normally. Fairy rings have been added to the house. A ritual marker can be created as well if you've got a warped stone. And spirit trees are officially in houses as well, so it's good to see all those teleport methods being added. I was a little bit curious what the ritual marker did, because the other things are quite self-explanatory. You can get the ritual marker furniture plans at Daemonheim, outside of Dungeoneering. Just talk to Marmoras, and then in unlocks you can get them for a whole bunch of Dungeoneering tokens. Here it says that the first one costs 465,000. It's a lot of tokens though, because I mean the next one only costs 46,000 and that one costs 93,000. But hey ho, let's go. But it does unlock the ability to get the other two as well. So let's go ahead and grab those two. They're a lot cheaper. And then finally warped ritual marker as well for 93,000. I like the little jingle they added when you unlock new furniture blueprints. Place the ritual marker there. So this one lets you teleport to Daemonheim. I guess that's it. That's all it does. Teleports you to Daemonheim. Well, that's a mystery solved in itself, I suppose. It's an expensive way to get here, though. And I paid like 700,000 engineering tokens for a teleport to Davenheim. This portal nexus, though, very cool. Here's a full list of all the teleports you can add to it. I suppose it's quite similar to old school, with Ancients Magics, normal spellbook, and Lunar Spellbook all having teleport locations in it. And as you would expect, it costs 1,000 casts to add it to the portal nexus, just like an old school RuneScape, so you're gonna need a good chunk of runes to get this thing filled out. Cool, Eternal Gilded Clock. There's a lot of new decorations. I like this rug, Dragon and Unicorn rug. Huge gold pile as well, for 100 million coins for that one. Though you might notice here as well that there are things that you need associated furniture plans for, which means that you need to go out into the world and find a building blueprint, essentially, that you can then use to unlock this item. You can't just walk up to this crafting bench and create some of the items, you have to actually find the recipes out in the world. Be that through quest rewards, monster drops, clue scroll rewards, you know, all kinds of stuff. And it really ties construction into the broader game, which is a really cool thing to do. Here you got a mahogany gilded cape stand, so there's one of those. Different god rugs, Ceradomin, Armadillo, Zamorak, very cool. Here's that bob rug that they showed off, so if you're into cats, then you know this is the one for you. If you're not as rich, you can get a medium gold pile as well. You can add an organ if you like playing music. There's a Falador Massacre painting that you can get, which you do need a Falador Massacre painting to create. I did really want the Zamorak laying on a bed painting, but I don't think that one has been added. It should definitely be a boss drop from Zamorak himself though. But they did add a lot of the archaeology paintings that you can find while doing archaeology, and you can hang those in your house now. The armor stands still exist. You can create more cobwebs if you want to have that spooky goth vibe. There's all kinds of different designs as well for the cobwebs. All you need is a bunch of thread to make those. There's also sand castles you can currently get from the beach, so I would head over there and pick those up. You get the blueprints from the beach, I should say, and then you can create them forever afterwards. So I think those cost a couple thousand beach sand, and they will allow you to build various different sand castles from the beach in your house. It's gonna take me a week to get everything in place because there's so many options here. They did remove a lot of things from the games room though. It seems like only the dartboard survived. I think everything else got removed because there isn't anything else you can make here. There's also a sawmill right over here where you can cut all the different logs into planks. You've got elder planks, but you also got eternal planks now, which is going to be what the high levels are using for their constructing. Here they talk a little bit about the new potion cauldron, which I was hoping they would. So each cauldron can store one timed potion type at a time, up to 250 doses. Non-timer potions cannot be added to the cauldron. So they're talking about potions like overloads that have a countdown when you drink them. Potions that boost your stat and then they'll slowly go down, those don't count. You can't put those in the potion cauldron. Drinking from the cauldron acts as drinking a single dose of potion, and the larger cauldrons seem to have a multi-drink option, which means that you can stack, let's say, 5 doses and have overload for an hour at a time. It would use 5 doses of overload, but then you would have 1 hour of overload, so you don't have to think about reapplying the potion during your bossing. You can even have 5 cauldrons at once in your house, which honestly should basically cover every single timer potion, I think. So the jewelry box, exactly like old school. You got your games, necklaces, glories, wealth ring. Depending on the tier of box, you'll be able to use it to quick teleport to various jewelry locations. Also important to note that in past blogs, they mentioned a damaged artifact storage. They have not added the artifact storage to the house, but they have added it to the Archaeology Guild. They say that it didn't feel quite right to put the artifact storage in the house, and it should rather come from your natural progression through the archaeology skill instead. And it is currently in the game. The new upgrade allows you to store damaged artifacts directly in the archaeology workbench where you fix your artifacts. It only stores damaged artifacts though, but a cool feature is I believe you can repair artifacts that are in the storage. So let's say you have some bowls in your storage, you could just click on the workbench and fix the bowls without them being in your inventory, and it will just pop the fixed bowl into your inventory and pull it from the storage. Now, this all sounds well and good, but how do you actually unlock these things, and what are the requirements? So you want to head to the Archaeology Guild shop, this one right here specifically, and then once you've become an associate, you can start getting these upgrades. So here there's a workbench upgrade for 25,000 chronotes that lets you store 125 damaged artifacts. To get the associate qualification, you do need to have completed some stuff. You need to have excavated 250 damaged artifacts by this point, completed 5 unique archaeology collections, send your research team out for 24 hours. That's total hours tracked. So if they're out for 2 hours in one go, then that would count as 2 hours. You have to reach level 70 archaeology. You have to also restore 250 of those damaged artifacts and solve 10 mysteries in archaeology. So there is some semi-hefty requirements to this. You won't just be able to store your artifacts off the bat, they will use some space in your bank. There could be an argument here for potentially adding 50 damaged artifact storage at a lower requirement. I don't know. At the moment, this feels like a strong upgrade to archaeology's progression, so it's definitely something you would want to unlock. I do remember having a lot of artifacts in my bank when I was doing archaeology, but I never felt like there was a problem per se until I got to the higher levels, because I was generally handing in a lot of my artifacts after I was making them, so I don't really have a problem with there being a level 70 requirement, but you can let me know what you think. Also, there's important to note that you can get your certificate of qualification from the Archaeology Guild as new trophies for your walls in your house. You can get all the way up to Guildmaster for your house. And here they say you can upgrade the Archaeology Guild storage as well over time. First upgrade is 125 artifacts. Then with the Professor qualifications, you can get 175 damaged artifact storage. And then finally, the maximum capacity is 225 artifacts. That's for Guildmaster, and it costs 100,000 chronotes. So it's not cheap by any means, but it does exist now, and hopefully it should help with some bank space issues. So next up is Homesteads, where you can have a house area with 5 other people. I've been having a blast with this. It's very easy to start a homestead as well. You just talk to the housing wizard right here. You'll tell him you want to start up a homestead, but since I've made one already, it tells me to swap homestead plots. You can then invite a player here by just clicking on this and then right-clicking someone to invite them to your homestead. Once they've done that, they can select a spot. They will be given a spot, but you can also select a spot afterwards if you're not happy with your location, assuming there are open spots. And if we go to Homestead Center, it takes me to the center of our housing area by the fountain that notably has sittable benches. Everything here is basically interactable. You've got a little mailbox outside of the different housing spots, and off in the distance you can see your house is loaded in, and then other people's houses have also loaded in the distance. And all of them load simultaneously, which is really interesting, and you can just always see them. They're always there, even if the people are logged off. The houses are still there. It's cool how you can just seamlessly walk into player-owned housing plots as well. The landmass itself is just a massive island as well, so you can walk around the outside here onto the beach if you want to. There's a massive mountain you can climb up, and if I want to walk into someone else's housing spot, I can just do that. It's here all the time. And I can wander around their house, I can use all the functionalities that they have here. For example, if they've got a workbench I want to use, I can just interact with it, and I can just use it. I think it's really cool how much they've done with this update. Create or join a homestead with up to 5 players and build a thriving community together. People can also visit your homestead. You can invite people in so they can wander around as well. You don't have to be limited to 5 people. You can have as many people as you want. You can right click on this portal and then visit another homestead. Here's a list of different homesteads that are loaded at the moment. Head over to the Gimyu estate, for example. Then I can see what they've crafted. And just kind of wander around their homestead. Truthfully, I don't know if any of them are around at the moment. See what kind of crazy castles they've been cooking up. Also, gotta have attention to detail here. The trees actually sway a little bit. You can see there's a very slight sway on this tree, for example, at the top. I really like that attention to detail. A couple other ones in the distance over here too. It's actually hilarious that you can visit other people's homestead without permission though. This is the dark stone, I believe, so it looks really nice, honestly. Snooping around. You can't drink from another player's cauldron. It's unhygienic. Oh, that's not entirely untrue. I found a new bug. I think I found a new bug. Yeah, I'll have to report this as well. Okay, I'll do that after the video. This isn't my house. I can't get back to my house. Well, this is a nice house. I should just take this house, to be honest. I think this is fancier than mine at the moment. Okay, I'm back in my own homestead again. Here they mention that to start off the new construction skill, you will have to do the introductory quest, There's No Place Like Home. It's more of a tutorial than a quest, really, but it is in quest format. It just introduces you to the basics, so it's very easy to do. It takes you like 5 minutes maybe. They also mention that once you've completed There's No Place Like Home and you reach level 50 construction, you unlock a free teleport to house spell. That means no runes to access your house. It becomes a green spell. You can use it as much as you want, it doesn't cost anything. There's also no limit on where you locate your house from. You can teleport to all the different housing locations now. So if you're in Relica, for example, you can go to your house. If you're in Yanil, you can also go to your house. There is no restrictions at all. You can just enter your house from any of these portals. Exit to another portal, for example, will bring up this menu, and you can go to Priftinus, for example, which will take you to that house portal. And then you could visit your house from there. Much like the saying, all roads lead to Rome, now all house portals lead to your homestead. They say if you can access them from anywhere, surely we can exit to anywhere as well, and they are correct. Exit to another portal will take you to any location. Though you do need to have the requirement to use that portal unlocked already, of course. They've also added some new right clicks to teleportation tablets. You can now break them to go inside your house, outside your house, or modify them there. They then go on to say what's happening with the old player-owned houses that people might have had for a long time now, especially for people who have invested a lot of resources into it, like, for example, me, who put a lot of money into the old housing system. They say the walls have been folded, however, any furniture that was present in your old house has been converted into the new system. And while this is mostly true, there are items that don't exist anymore that just have been deleted with no refunds as well, and some of them did cost a little bit, so I mean that sucks a little bit, but it is what it is. It's a price to pay for this amazing new system that they've created. Here they say most furniture has been moved over, but in the event that something hasn't moved over, they do have a storage save file list of all the things that were in your old house. That means that if they do create some of the old items in the future for the new system, you will get those instantly once they are released. They say, we'll know who already had these items in the past, and we will be able to add those as furniture to your storage unit instantly. Also, some final closing notes. Player dungeons are not launching with the new player-owned house at launch, since the new building and plot system works very differently. They do say, though, that in the event the dungeons do return, the Rocknar is safe and sound, and you can someday reunite with him at some point. They've also disabled portable workbenches with the update today, as they don't necessarily work properly with the new system. They are looking to re-enable some of their functionality. Who knows when that'll happen, and these items are also being removed with the MTX cleanup at the end of the year. So if nothing happens before then, they would likely just be removed. Jagex have also given everyone who logs in for the first month of this update a little gift to reminisce about the old housing system. Once you enter your new house, there will be a little gift box next to your house portal. And inside of it, you can find this little replica display of the player-owned house loading screen from, like I guess old school would still have the loading screen. They've got a little 3D diorama of that loading screen for you that you can place in your house. Now this is technically going to become discontinued, so it's a little bit of a FOMO thing, which I'm not super happy about. They could have just had it as a quest reward, but I guess it's a login incentive. Like, who knows if this will ever come back again, so I don't know how I feel about that entirely, but I do really like the little display. They say if you do the quest and enter your house, open your box, before August 13th, you will get this diorama, and say it's a unique piece of furniture that looks back at where it all started. Happy constructing. To check it out in-game, you can find the player-owned housing diorama. Plop that down somewhere, like there. It's very cute, I really like it a lot actually. Alongside the update today as well, you will notice in the background I have been playing a remastered version of the Home Sweet Home soundtrack from RuneScape. But if you missed the old one, you can click on this diorama, look at player-owned house, and it will play the old song as well. If you're feeling a little nostalgic sometimes, you can go and do that. Actually adorable. I like this item a lot. I almost think it should just be a reward from the tutorial quests, to be honest, but it doesn't play the whole song. It plays for like a minute, 30 seconds. Now let's talk a little bit about the frustrating things about today's update, because it hasn't been 100% smooth. There's been quite a few bugs, which I mean, I'm not bothered by. I would just report them and move on, but they have been problems for the players trying this out. Massive discussion today about all the things going on in my Discord server. We've just been going ham at this, so everything is basically in here. Let me start from the top. All right, people have been getting stuck in house portals. You've been able to place them down and teleport inside of them, not being able to move until you move the house portal out of the way. I managed to get myself stuck in the terrain a couple times. Not a couple times, a lot of times. I've seen the ups and downs of this new area, and it's been interesting. Don't worry though, everything's been reported and sent to Jagex. There's been some graphical glitches where the grass and stuff hasn't been loading properly and giving off this white glow. It's been possible to create trees that grow through your house, though I do want to say that's been patched. We quickly figured out that you can place items all over the spots in your player-owned house, but you can't place the houses everywhere in your player-owned house. It actually prevents you from placing the wall too close to the edge. Now, I think this is the same in The Sims, but it wasn't actually consistent all the way around either. You see, on the south and west side, there was one tile between the edge, but on the north and east side, there were 2 tiles away from the edge, and you couldn't place the buildings closer than that. Very strange when you could still place the hedges, for example, around, but you couldn't place the fences either. Fences act the same way as the walls do for the houses. So in the Discord server, we built a basically creation kit where you could lay out your room the way you wanted it to. And as you can see here, the orange spots are just tiles you can't place structures in. You can place decorations there, but not houses and fences, meaning that the grid you basically have available for your house is 45 by 45 squares. There's been a lot of finicky situations where rooms will just not connect when it looks like they should be able to. For example, it's not possible to place this room here despite all of the rooms and doors connecting, and it's because this corner right here, for some reason, when you remove this room, it works. So I don't quite get that. Now I'm assuming some of these things are bugs, but like I say, it looks like it should connect. This one also doesn't seem to work for some reason. I'd assume it's because of this corner right here, but it's hard to say because it looks like it should all line up with the doors. Because as you can see here now, it works. This is also a layout that didn't work because you can't place a wall towards a wall when there's no door there. So since there's no door connecting these rooms, it's not possible to place them next to each other. I'd have to assume that's also a bug, but it's hard to say, right? We've also had some restrictions on what kind of rooms you can place on the second floor. Currently, you have to place the same floor on the bottom as you want on the second floor. That's been a limitation that's bothered some people. Another critique is that people would like different kinds of stairs, especially when there are no rooms above. For example, there is no room going up here, so why are there stairs going up? We would just like one set of stairs going down, no spiral staircase. So having different options for stairs could be a good potential fix as well. If they all have to be spiral, at least let us reskin them in different colors. Here's another case where if you teleport to the house portal, it will teleport you into the items and get you stuck, for example. Now, with that said, if you do create a grid system for your house where all the doors line up properly, with walls also connecting properly, it does flow really well, and I really do like that. For example, in the event of me placing this massive room, it didn't look like I could place a room in the corner of it, but I could. It just updates the door to be in that corner as soon as you place the room there. And as you can see from the layout here, it does line up really nicely. So it gives you the option of having side rooms like this. Downside to this though is that I can't actually close off this wall if I wanted to. I go into doorway and then there's only a remove room option. There is no close this off. So those rooms are always going to be connected, which is a little bit of a shame too. Would be nice if I could just add a wall there, for example, if I didn't want those to connect. If I want to close this off though, I can do that by going in here and saying that I want to customize the doorway and then add a wall with the window, and it will just add a double window there where the door is supposed to be. This area is very much a testing zone at the moment. I have spent a lot of money today just placing and removing rooms, but it's been fun. Also 100% a bug on this one, but they've not been able to place this room here for some reason, even though it looks fully possible and it just mirrors the other side of the house, but it says you can't build a room outside of your plot while it's obviously still inside of it. Another example here where this door is too close to this corner, so it doesn't let you place this room as well. So there are some limitations to the system. Would be nice if some of these got fixed at least. I imagine some of them are actually bugs that just aren't supposed to be there. Some of them might also be limitations, like this one, for example. So, with the update today, which is massive, you should just check it out, honestly, because it's overwhelming to even talk about it. We've also got a marketplace update today with some new outfits called the Lunar Legend Styles. These come in the form of 2 new outfits and a range of new weapon skins. The Nocturnal Shaman bundle, where you get this one, which has a nice subtle particle effect on top of it. You also get one without particle effects and a little bit less decorations. And then there's also a version in red and orange. I'm getting kind of fall vibes from the outfit set. And then there's also a range of weapons that come with a different bundle. Some of them are actually really cool. I really like this staff, for example. Got a purple moon on it. Got a very cool looking bow, a Necromancer arm guard, Necromancer lantern, and a scythe as well. And if red is more your color, you've got these, which look very autumny as well, that I mentioned earlier as well. This one's really nice with the contrast as well, and the moon, a big bow, and there's very faint particles coming off of it as well. A very wood aesthetic on this one. little lantern, and then also another scythe here. It was coming in at 700 rune coins for the outfits and then 950 for the weapon sets. I believe they also added a couple other things as well. You can check that out in the marketplace if you're interested. And they mention here that sand castles for your player-owned house have been added to the Sunlight Sands reward shop. They've also hotfixed in a bank at the Summer Beach event area, which is great. That was one of the feedback pieces I added last week. And there was also a bug for people with over 99 Hunter. Now they're getting the correct XP rates, I guess, so they were getting a lot less. Over at the beach, you can talk to Sheldon, and he has all the new rewards. There's a lobster rug recipe you can unlock, as well as all 4 sand castles that you can build at the beach as well in little sand pits for your house. All of these rewards cost 2,000 sandy sand each, so it comes out to 10,000 sand in total. And once you've unlocked the recipe, you can build as many as you want as well. As for artwork this week, we've got Ninth Cloud being featured with an amazing art piece showing off a hunt with Inanna over in Havenheith, the Amberfell citizens out prowling in the forest during a full moon. Amazing job as always. And this next one's funny, but a little bit special too. Scorpion Sniper's 9-year-old son has made a RuneScape art drawing. Looks like Raksha a little bit here. Yeah, definitely is Raksha. That's adorable, man. So what does the community think of the update? I'd say it's landed with great success, 97% upvote. Any chance for clue and armor storage to have partial completed sets in it? That still seems to have not been added. Old School does have that, so it would be nice to see that added here too. Nice to see artifact storage finally, freed up 70 bank spots instantly, though it does seem to just throw everything in there rather than giving you a way to search for things. As it stands right now, you can't really do a whole lot in terms of organizing. It could have some improvements like being able to search through the list of artifacts. I do kind of feel like maybe they just wanted to get it out with the construction update because they had talked about the storage for artifacts, but they didn't prioritize it because it wasn't a priority in the construction update itself. It was just an extra nice feature to add alongside it. Having some checkboxes to sort them by dig site, for example, if the menu itself couldn't just sort them by dig sites as well, like the material box does. Definitely room for improvements on that one, but I am very happy that they have decided to release that. Love the addition of the old "There's no place like home" loading screen as an actual piece of furniture, and nice music callback as well. I cannot believe how hard everyone on the team cooked. This is the kind of delivery that really shows the road to restoration. As an old school player, I approve of this message. Someone's talking about the experience rates, which we haven't seen a whole lot of. They say the training method with eternal magic logs is too slow, but it does seem that the construction contract rates have been buffed and they didn't take that into account when making these calculations. So construction contracts do seem to have gotten an increase in experience from this, so that might be something to look into. Update looks fantastic. I need to know if the fairy ring inside the player-owned house is DIQ. It is not. It is AKP. Which is sad. It should have been the same as in Old School. Are butlers still a thing? I have not seen a single butler today, so I don't believe they exist anymore. Currently, and intentionally, it's not possible to access your house storage from your bank because they want to test out all these features are still working properly. So if you're struggling to access your house storage from your bank, that is why they've disabled it at the moment. Have also noticed that there are some recipes that you just can't make at the moment because they require more resources than it's possible for you to carry in your inventory. It doesn't recognize noted items as well. So for example, there is a defense structure that requires 40 of an item. You obviously can't have 40 in your inventory, so it just isn't able to make it yet at the moment. It also doesn't take items out of Beasts of Burden, so that's not possible. We've also got memes. We've got "Not now, sweetie, mommy's redesigning her player-owned house. Oh no. No. Someone's enjoying the housing update so far. Looks amazing. Very nice job so far on the build. My current state of player-owned house. It looks a lot like mine. You know, you gotta get the base foundations right. Then you can start decorating. Haven't gotten my base foundations right yet. 10 out of 10 pun. Finally something worth building. Gold sink. 100 million coins. Though please, could we add some commas to all those zeros? I can't make out how many zeros there are. I have to squint my eyes really badly. It's 100 mil to save you counting the zeros. And yes, it functions as a sink. Don't ask me how I know. How do you like my floor plan? Oh, come on. Wow, nice church. They put it in the game. There's no place like home loading screen. You even get a portrait of it you can hang on your wall. Falador Massacre fine art, which reminds me I haven't picked up mine yet. I should go do that right now. You can pick up a spade from this house right here in Falador and then just head into the park. Right here by the entrance there's a memorial plaque reading, "In loving memory of all the citizens of Falador that died in the Falador Massacre." And if we do a little grave robbing with the spade, you find a rolled up painting and some bones. You decide to leave the bones. There's your Falador painting. And alongside some mahogany planks, if we just take this over to the furniture workbench, Falador Massacre painting, go ahead and construct that, then deposit that into the furniture storage, pop on build mode, and hang that Falador Massacre painting on the wall. And there it is, Duriel. Massacring people in Falador. Really shouldn't be glorifying bug abuse, but it is a very historic event at this point. As an old school player, the player-owned house update looks absolutely amazing. Can't wait to try it when eventually start playing RuneScape 3, waiting for the API update. Unfortunately, the experience rates aren't 1 mil an hour, so update sucks. Sarcasm. Someone's also made a quick mock-up of a floor planner that you can use on GitHub. I'll let you go find that on Reddit if you really want it. I haven't tested it out myself, so I don't know if it works. New furniture plans have been added to Clue Scroll rewards. You can get a tiny gold pile through Clue Scrolls. An easy, medium tier has a small gold pile, and then also from hard tiers, elite tiers, and master tiers also have new decorations that you can find while doing Clue Scrolls. Mod RAM and bank your items. Oh no, it's happening again. It doesn't seem like people are happy with the experience rates in general. I'm not going to look into it too much because there's a good chance it will get changed. New Clue Scroll house meta just dropped. House Portal, Fairy Ring, Pearl Nexus, and Spirit Tree right next to each other. New player-owned houses, endless possibilities. Oh come on, that's the second one! New construction update looks great. Wait a second. My bank after I store all my damaged artifacts. Whew, it's looking quite empty in there. The housewarming gift and there's no place like home painting was super wholesome. Thank you so much for the team for this incredible work. Make sure to pick up your packages, everyone. Does this player-owned house have the best experience rates for prayer, or does it have the best experience rates for prayer? Here we've got a super cozy little cottage. Oh, look at this garden. It's beautiful. Got some pictures from the inside of their house as well. This house is by Stixie, I think. A quaint, cozy place, very nicely furnished. Done a fantastic job. I really like this little cozy house. Here is Meira-chan's cottage by the lake. Very cozy. The cottage core is going strong in this update, I can tell. No pictures of the inside for this one, but the outside looks really nice. Bank your stuff. There's a PKing bug in player-owned houses. Oh, they're actually doing damage. They're doing damage to multiple people too, so they're not actually dueling. Don't worry though, they just get popped outside the portal. They're fine. Mod Ramen is on it though, he's on the ball. An attempt at a more weather-worn pathway. Very cool. I think they've added a little bit of grass and stuff around here to this area. I'm not sure if this is possible currently in game because I don't know if you can add grass to the outside area. Mod Ramen says Picasso, I like it. Though you may be able to add grass. Maybe I just haven't found the grass option yet. Here is someone's small seaside mansion. Sir, there's nothing small about this house at all. This is ginormous. You've basically got the biggest house parts possible. There's the seaside part. Yep, garden outside. Here's the inside. I think you need to add a little bit more decorations. It's looking a little bit empty in those rooms there, but yes, very creative. This is the possibilities you get with this new update. I love looking at people's house designs. It's really fascinating. Kitty6660 has mocked up some door designs for player-owned houses. I really like this one with glass in the door frames. This one also. Currently, I have not found a way to add doors to my house, so everything is just kind of open plan. Currently, my pets are trotting mud through the orderly house I have. Yep, that sounds about right. Did anyone else make their house way too big? This looks fantastic too. I like it. Beautiful garden area. Nice layout. Feature requests for the player-owned house update. Half-grid placement options. Being able to snap furniture into half-grid placements, this would actually fix a lot of the misalignment issues, where people are trying to position 3 decorations between 2 tiles, specifically. There are pieces of furniture that have 3 tiles in length, and they're trying to line it up with 2 tile doors, and it's just not lining up. And something like this would fix that, but I don't know how difficult that would be in terms of, could break the whole game, essentially, because I don't think that's something that they do quite often. Free furniture placement without clipping restrictions. That would let us overlap or clip furniture into each other to make even more customizable builds. More doorway options, like being able to place a wall between 2 existing rooms to block off those rooms. And also let us add doors to the house. That would be very good. Remove the staircase to the 3rd floor when there is no 3rd floor. More staircase models and options. Increase the room limit. 25 rooms isn't enough anymore. Larger furniture options. More wall decorations. More clutter and decoration props. They're going to be working on that. Like, they're going to add more decorations and stuff for us to put down over time. Please remove the dirt piles under the flowers. And floor painting tools to change the type of grass that is on the ground floor, and potentially also change the plank style as well inside houses would be cool. Don't know how difficult those things would be, but I mean, they're good suggestions, I think. Loving the player-owned house update. Have a look at this outside garden area. They've even got General Agrardor and Calfied Queen up on their wall there. Also, a huge shout out to the people who have been posting their houses on Reddit. It's very cool to see what you guys have been up to. Rate my house garden. You've gone crazy with the stone pathing. I'm just gonna put that out there. You've actually gone crazy, especially over here. What is going on? Where is my barrel in a fence, Jagex? I need this furniture piece. House tour, loving the update. Spent hours learning how to place things. Cute garden area, a little bit of houses spread around here and there. They've got their bathhouse, cozy little portal nexus room. I love the animations inside the portals. Here's their little prayer altar room and their achievement display gallery. This person's housing entrance. Look at how many flower options you can get with different colors. Someone sharing their player-owned house. This doesn't even look like a player-owned house. It looks like it's just in the overworld. There's so many trees, so many portals, and lots of bookcases. This person reads a lot. I actually love how cozy it looks. Check out this little living room area. They went a little bit crazy with the bookcases, I think, just to fill all of the wall space. I think they could add some more paintings and stuff, but other than that, it looks really nice. Here is the kitchen area. Cozy, very cozy. A little flower shrine to Armadillo. I like it. Why is there a hedge inside of the house, though? I mean, I think it's funny that it's even possible to do that, but exactly why? Oh yeah, there we go. Got a full overview of it as well. Oh, they've reached the 250 furniture limit. Their goal was a small hunting cabin, and I think they succeeded very well with that. It is funny that half their plot is empty, and they've hit 250 though. Like, there's all this open space around it, and it's just not been used, and they've hit the cap. So it goes to show how much you can densely pack things now compared to before. So following on from the first day, they gave us an update on what they are working on to fix in terms of bugs and additional features that people aren't happy with, and the feedback that they've gotten so far. They're not exactly sure when these changes will be implemented, but they will be rolling out over time, so stay tuned for when those get added. They are working on the ability to move rooms once they've been placed, because at the moment you just buy a room, plop it down, and then you have to delete it if you want to move it around. So it takes money from your money pouch every time you place a room down and remove it. That's a good change. I hope that can come in sooner than later. They're looking to increase the furniture limit from 300 to 400. That will likely just scale upwards, so at 120 construction you'll have 400. More space is good. I mean, I'm hoping that lower end computers don't struggle too much with how many assets are being loaded in, because there are 5 houses on Homesteads that could have up to 400 decorations each, and all of that is being loaded in. That feels like it's going to be a challenge for computers and performance. I have a pretty strong computer rig at the moment, so I've only noticed very minimal amounts of additional loading time when loading in, but I can only imagine how lower end computers will probably struggle to load in 5 massive houses. They are currently investigating Fort Forestry and construction contracts to support higher tier of planks, which would mean higher experience rates. They're looking to improve the resolution on some UI visuals that feel a little low resolution. I did notice with the update that they have rescaled the teleport icons in the magic interface. A lot of them were blurry or pixelated before, now they all seem to have the exact same size and resolution. I do like that consistency. They are looking to improve and add tooltips to some areas to help people understand them better. They are looking to re-enable portable workbenches. I imagine those would just let you access the crafting table in Remington from anywhere. I would also say it would be nice if they added the workbench in Remington where you create furniture to more locations around the world, because at the moment I think it's only in Remington you can build things for construction at the moment. Having a workbench at most house portals would probably be ideal, right? They're also finally looking to add separate filters for unique items in the storage, build, and workbench interfaces. So more filters makes it easier to find things, though you can always use the search field, which is really strong as well. So they talk a little bit about the experience scaling for training construction, and also 120 in particular. Generally speaking, they want to maintain the rough experience an hour that was possible with construction before the update. They do say, however, that they have rebalanced the Fort 4 and 3 experience. They say that the Fort experience was shifted to be more weighted towards active training, which I suppose means that they want you to run around to each of the hotspots that are glowing when creating fort structures. And if you're not running around to the optimal spots, you are getting less experience now than before. There have been some bugs with the particle effects showing on the optimal spots at the fort as well when building things. But yeah, they're basically incentivizing you more to engage with the glowing spots when doing fort construction. They have reduced the AFK experience from not going to the glowing spots. There's also been a discussion around balancing rates for Eternal and Magic planks because those are now best in slot for in terms of training construction. They say that they agree that these need to be looked at again and probably brought up. I think people are saying that the experience rate isn't fast enough. Though I have seen people say that you can get rates of like 700k, but you might need quite a lot of planks to get these rates. So you need massive amounts of resources. They do say they don't want to disturb the existing experience an hour too much though. See, the problem with this one for me is that I think a lot of people are expecting you to get multiple millions of experience per hour because that's sort of the baseline for how thieving has ended up. You can get 2 to 3 million experience an hour in thieving for doing some of the active training methods in that skill. Now, thieving historically has also been a very fast skill to train, but so has construction because it has been expensive but fast to train. So having the opportunity to get many millions of experience an hour, if you are willing to pay a lot of money, should probably exist in the game, right? Having Eternal be a sort of really expensive training method could be the way to go about that. Now, I'm not a designer here, so I don't exactly know how they would go about that, but I do think that there should be methods for people with a lot of money to gain really fast experience, because that's how construction has historically been. So, and if that also means that resources will go up in price to reflect these changes, I think that's a good thing because that incentivizes skillers to go out and collect these resources for people doing construction. So it's the circle of life, sort of. They also want to reassure us that this is just the start of the construction journey. The team is focusing on this launch being as complete as possible, and then afterwards, once they've sorted out all the bug fixes from the launch and also smoothed out the process that people enjoy construction a lot easier now with the update, they will start adding more things regularly to the skill. So look out for new furniture additions and features coming in the future, which I'm excited about. I think it has so much potential for even more things to be added. Completely new ranges of furniture, completely new wall kits. You know, there are so many things that they could do. They could essentially tie construction into every single update with giving new decorations for your house. So I think that's really exciting to think about. They also say they have hotfixed some things already. This one was a fun bug. Players' house plots being overwritten when other players would visit their homesteads. This was a bug that I was experiencing on release, like within the first hour of the update. 2 people had visited me and some friends' homestead, and the housing spots were fighting each other for whose spot got to be on the plots, because we essentially had the same spots in each other's homesteads. So if I teleported in, my spot would get placed there. If they teleported in, their spot would get placed there. It was pretty funny. They've added a confirmation screen when adding rooms to reduce instances of misplaced rooms. This can be turned off. So there is a little toggle box that lets you hide this warning for, I believe, 10 minutes. They have removed the level checks when placing furniture in build mode. This must have been for people boosting to make furniture and then not being able to place it. So now if you've built something, you can place it everywhere. You only need to boost to create furniture that you don't have the level for. You don't need it to place. So that's good. There is a bug with the prawn broker where it wasn't recognizing that it was yours. There was a bug where players were not able to use the workbench in Remington to create items. It was connected to the rune pouch, I guess, and that has been fixed. There's also a bug with treasure chests not being available and people not being able to access the easy, medium, hard, and elite clue storage. It would only default to the master one. This has also been fixed. There's been some issues with stone planters and ceramic pots not being able to be built. The cowhide rug can now be crafted again. Cape racks now work as expected to display your capes. They've updated a number of construction furniture recipes. as they were displaying the wrong material requirements. This includes beds, flower beds, cape stands, and various wall kits. The issues with the potion cauldron not working with Lanthanime incense sticks has been fixed. There are still a handful of combination potions that are not working properly, so just bear that in mind. They haven't completely fixed the cauldron just yet. They've also fixed the There's No Place Like Home tutorial quest for construction so that it appears as a free-to-play quest, and it now works also towards Master Quest Cape and the Quest Cape requirements. And the text for the 120 construction cape has been updated. So yeah, they'll be working hard to continue fixing all these bugs. If you do encounter any bugs during the update, do let them know by reporting it in-game. Honestly, it's so good to see them working so hard about this and fixing all the bugs with it, and listening to feedback about everything too. There's also a whole list of bugs here that they are aware of and they're investigating that we have to check out. Kettles are currently not working for the construction boost. Attack options are appearing in safe areas, like player-owned farms, but thank Gothics that there is still code that prevents people from fighting each other outside in the overworld. We could have had another Falador massacre, but this time the player-owned farm massacre. Dodged a bullet on that one. Potion reservoirs are not auto-sipping for some reason. Some text is off-center and needs to be centered. The optimal building spot particles in Fort 4 and 3 are not showing properly. Some issues with objects on the ground floor. Players are able to go out of bounds currently in the houses. It's possible to create inaccessible upstairs areas. The preferred house exit location may not work always. Some house portals and doorways do not line up. Furniture storage filters and navigation isn't working properly sometimes. Sometimes placement mode audio continues playing after the placement mode ends. House servant dialogue is unclear when tasks can't be completed. Potion cauldrons are currently overriding existing timers instead of extending them. The costume room trunk interface may stop from being resized when in building mode. Minor visual issues can occur like clipping, lighting problems, and flickering. The aquarium decorations have been disabled. On release, it hasn't been possible to enter the aquarium, at least for me and my friends. The aquarium will just instantly kick you out if you try to load into it. Kitchen cabinets and other furniture may not display correctly, and some trophy unlock messages can appear twice on the first boss kill. Now, for me, this update has been so much fun. I have had a blast just running around breaking the housing system for the most part, but it's been a lot of fun just doing that. I have been trying to build out my layout as well. That's been really good to do. Once you start learning what the limitations are of the system, you can sort of work around it a little bit, though I do hope that they fix some of the issues with walls not lining properly or not letting you create wall sections next to each other. I also really do like the feature that people's pets can just wander across the entire island, so you might see your friends' pets wandering into your housing plot sometimes. I think the homesteads are so cool. Even just witnessing your friends building their house in real time, seeing the houses update in the distance, it's pretty neat to see. Jagex has a lot to fix with this update, but it has been a blast just messing around with it. Update has so much potential. What excites me even more as well is that it has so much potential to be expanded on in the future with new recipes and items, like they did with the beach already. Hopefully new bosses from now on will add new heads that you can hang up in your house. Would love to see more furniture customizations too. They didn't release all the ones that were shown in concept art back when they first announced this update. There was a whole range of elven items, like elven wooden carved items that just didn't make it in, for example. Different NPC items like the frog eel chair didn't make it in either. I don't believe there are any good options for green chairs at the moment, so that would be a good potential solution for that. I also don't think any of the bathtubs made it in, and also none of the toilets. We have to go to Haven Height if we want to do that. Some frustration points are fair to bring up as well. There has been issues with aligning items with the rooms. Some items are too large, so they can't be centered properly. Some people who really wanted to customize their house have been disappointed because there have been some limitations that have basically stopped them from doing what they wanted to do. So it's fair to say that the update wasn't perfect for everyone, but it is a very cool update by all standards. I am excited to continue building on my house, adding more things, upgrading it. Really just hop in game, try it out for yourself. You don't need any construction level to start all of this. Just head on over to Rimington, check out the new graphical updated area, and also grab your housewarming gift of your little old player-owned house loading screen diorama and painting. Make sure you do that as well before the 13th of August because that's the cutoff date for getting the little display case with the house inside of it. Of course, like the video, subscribe for more RuneScape content, and let me know if you've been enjoying the housing update in the comments below.